Welcome everyone. Today we're diving into the world of Supabase. By the end of this presentation, you'll know everything about Supabase. We'll explore how students log in, post questions, and how their marks are stored. You'll learn where all that data lives and how to manage it effectively. And the best part, we'll see how Supabase makes all of this possible, especially in building a college app. So get ready for a beginner's guide to understanding how Supabase powers modern apps. Let's get started. So think of Instagram for a moment. When you post a photo there, your profile data gets stored in a database, your login is managed through authentication, your photos are saved in storage, and your feed updates in real time. Now, imagine if you had to build all of that from scratch. That would be a lot of work. But with Supabase, you get all of this built in, ready to go, so you don't have to build it yourself. It's like a complete toolkit for your backend needs. To put it simply, Supabase provides you with APIs, storage, real-time updates, authentication, and a database, all in one package. Think of it like a Swiss Army knife for your backend development. Instead of piecing together different tools, it offers everything you need in one place. And if I had to give you a simple analogy, imagine a brick-and-mortar store. Supabase is like that store, offering all the essentials you need for your app's backend, without having to go to different shops for each item. Now, from a technical perspective, Supabase is an open-source backend-as-a-service platform. It provides a PostgreSQL database, authentication services, real-time subscriptions, file storage, and automatically generated APIs. Everything is integrated seamlessly, making it easier and faster for you to develop your app. So, in essence, Supabase is your all-in-one backend solution, streamlining what used to be complex and time-consuming into a simple, efficient package. Let's talk about why Supabase is the answer. First, it's really easy to set up, usually in just minutes. You don't need to be a coding expert to get started, and it's secure by default, meaning your data is protected without extra effort. It also comes with a built-in login system, so user authentication is handled for you. Plus, it stores data permanently, so you don't have to worry about losing important information. Now imagine Ravi building a chat app. At first, he stores messages directly in the browser. Day 1, it works perfectly. But then, on day 2, when a user refreshes the page, all those messages are gone, completely lost. That's a big problem. His app needed a proper backend to save data reliably and permanently. That's where Supabase comes in. It provides a dependable server-side home for all your data. Let's go over some common issues when you don't have a backend. First, if data is only stored in the browser, it's lost when the page is refreshed. Second, without a login system, anyone can access or modify your data, which isn't secure. And third, you can't easily share data between users because there's no central place to store it. That's what we mean by problems without a backend. The backend is the part of an app that runs on the server behind the scenes. It handles all the data, logic, and security, things users don't see but are essential for a smooth, secure experience. For example, when you log into an app, the backend checks your password to verify your identity. So why do we need Supabase? Because it's the reliable, easy-to-use backend solution that solves these problems. It helps you build apps that are secure, scalable, and capable of handling all your data properly. So let's take a closer look at this example table, which we can think of as a simple student database. It has columns for ID, name, email, and marks. Each row represents a different student, like Priya and Rahul. Imagine this table as a sheet in a giant Excel file stored on the internet. Each table in our database is like one sheet, holding related information. This way, you can easily find and manage data without losing track of anything, even when the page refreshes. Now, the database we're talking about uses PostgreSQL, which is one of the most powerful and open-source relational databases out there. Think of it as a super-organized digital filing cabinet, where data is stored in tables, just like Excel sheets, with rows and columns. This structure makes it easy to access, update, and manage data efficiently. So whether you're storing student info or any other data, this setup keeps everything neat, accessible, and ready for your next query or update. All right, let's talk about the different ways users can authenticate with our system. On this slide, we see several options: a magic link, phone OTP, GitHub, Google OAuth, and email plus password. These are all supported login methods that make it easy for users to sign in securely. Think of authentication like the security guard at your college gate. Only students with a valid ID card are allowed in. Supabase acts as that guard. It verifies credentials before letting anyone in. Now, to put this in context, authentication is essentially about verifying who the user is. Supabase provides ready-made login options, whether it's through email and password, Google, GitHub, or others. All of these are secured with industry-standard JWT tokens, which keep the process safe and reliable. By offering multiple login methods, we're making it flexible and user-friendly, while still maintaining strong security. This is a key part of building trust and ensuring that only authorized users access our app. Let's dive into what real-time really means in the context of apps. Think about live chat apps like WhatsApp. When someone sends a message, everyone in the group sees it instantly. No need to refresh the page or wait. That immediate update is what we call real-time. And the great news is, Supabase brings that same instant update capability to your app data. To make this clearer, imagine Rahul sees a new message instantly. When he sends a message, a WebSocket fires. That's the technology that keeps the connection open and live. Then, our Supabase database updates immediately, and all connected users see the change right away. This flow is what we call the real-time flow. It allows your app to update instantly whenever your data changes, without the user needing to refresh or reload. It's built on WebSockets, which push database changes directly to everyone connected. In simple terms, real-time means your app is always up to date, instantly reflecting any data changes as they happen. It's a powerful feature that makes your app feel seamless, dynamic, and engaging for users. Now let's talk about how users can upload their files. First, a user uploads a profile photo, which is then saved in the avatars bucket. Similarly, teachers upload assignment PDFs, and those are stored in the assignments bucket. The great thing is, you have full control over who can access these files. Whether you want them to be private or public, it's entirely up to you. To give you a practical example, think of Supabase storage like a Google Drive for your app. You upload files, organize them into folders, and decide who can see each file. Whether it's profile photos or assignment PDFs, everything is stored neatly here. And speaking of the analogy, imagine Supabase storage as a simplified, S3-compatible cloud storage service. It lets you upload, organize, and serve various types of files: images, videos, PDFs, documents. And most importantly, you have fine-grained control over access permissions. To define it simply, storage is a feature that enables you to handle all your file management needs seamlessly within your app. It's about making file uploads, organization, and serving straightforward and secure, fitting perfectly into the broader theme of building a robust, user-friendly application. All right, so let's look at this example here. You see the code snippet where we're fetching data from the students table using Supabase. This is a practical illustration of how APIs work behind the scenes. Think of APIs like waiters in a restaurant. Your app, which is the customer, asks for data, and the API, acting as the waiter, goes to the database or the kitchen to get that data and then brings it back to you. Now, what's really cool about Supabase is that it automates this process for you. When you create a table, it automatically generates the REST and GraphQL APIs for that table, so no need to write backend code yourself. You just set up your table, and your API is ready to be called from any front end you're working on. This feature really streamlines development because it simplifies how your app interacts with data. You don't have to worry about building APIs from scratch. Supabase handles that automatically, making your workflow more efficient and less error-prone. This is a key part of how Supabase makes building scalable, flexible apps easier and faster. Let's walk through how Supabase works step by step. First, the user opens your app, which is the starting point. From there, the app communicates with the Supabase backend using the JavaScript SDK. This SDK makes it easy to send requests and handle responses. Next, before any data is accessed, Supabase handles authentication to check if the user is logged in. This is crucial for security and access control. Once authentication is verified, the request reaches the PostgreSQL database, where your data is stored permanently. When data is requested, it's returned to the app in just milliseconds, ensuring a smooth user experience. And if any data changes happen, say, another user updates information, Supabase's real-time features notify all connected users instantly. This keeps everyone on the same page without needing to refresh or manually check for updates. So, in summary, the flow starts with the user opening the app, then requests go through Supabase's SDK, are authenticated, reach the database, and then responses come back swiftly. Plus, with real-time capabilities, all users stay synchronized instantly. That's the full picture of how Supabase powers your app behind the scenes. Now let's look at the JavaScript code snippet here. It shows how we fetch a user's notes from the database. Specifically, we use the from method on our Supabase client to select all columns from the notes table where the userid matches the current user's ID. This way, each user only sees their own notes. Moving on, the slide highlights that users can attach images to their notes. These images are uploaded to a Supabase storage bucket, which makes managing media files straightforward and scalable. Regarding the storage, the key point is that we use the from method again, but this time on the storage API to handle uploading and retrieving images. The SDK provides convenient methods for inserting and deleting files, simplifying media management within our app. Now about APIs, users sign up with their email addresses, and once they do, Supabase manages the entire authentication process. It handles login, sessions, and JWT tokens behind the scenes, ensuring secure and seamless user authentication. On the database side, we create a notes table with columns like id, userid, title, content, and created at. This structure keeps our data organized and easy to query. Finally, the overall goal of this project is to build a notes app where users can sign up, log in, and perform CRUD operations, create, read, and delete on their personal notes. All of this is powered by Supabase, making it a full-stack solution that's both powerful and easy to work with. Let's take a look at how Supabase compares to traditional backends. First, when it comes to being beginner-friendly, Supabase is designed for developers of all skill levels. You don't need to be an expert to get started, whereas traditional backends often require advanced knowledge and experience. In terms of skills needed, Supabase simplifies the process. It's almost like a one-line of code solution for many features, making it accessible for newcomers. Traditional backends, on the other hand, often demand more complex WebSocket code and manual API endpoint creation, which can be quite time-consuming. Speaking of costs, Supabase offers a free tier, which is great for testing and small projects, and it handles server costs plus development time efficiently. Traditional backends might involve higher costs due to server management and longer setup times. When we look at storage, Supabase provides built-in storage that's easy to configure. Just a few clicks and you're set. With traditional systems, you'd need to manually configure services like S3, which is more involved. In the realm of real-time functionality, Supabase has auto-generated APIs that are ready to go out of the box, enabling real-time features with minimal effort. In contrast, building real-time capabilities from scratch with traditional backends can take weeks or even months, requiring manual setup for each endpoint. Database management is another key difference. Supabase includes PostgreSQL out of the box, making setup quick and straightforward. Traditional approaches often require manual database setup and configuration, which can be quite time-consuming. Finally, when we compare setup times, Supabase gets you up and running in just minutes, while traditional methods can take weeks or even months to fully configure everything. So overall, Supabase offers a faster, simpler, and more accessible way to build modern backend features. ideal for moving quickly and focusing on your core application. Let's talk about row-level security, or RLS, which is a really important feature. It makes sure that each user only sees their own data, so your information stays private and secure. This is part of what we mean by being secure by default, giving you peace of mind. Moving on, Supabase offers a generous free tier. You get a 500 MB database, 1 GB of storage, and support for up to 50,000 monthly active users, all without any cost to start. That makes it accessible for anyone, whether you're just experimenting or building a full-scale app. It's also designed to be scalable. Used by startups and big companies alike, it can grow with you from just 10 users to millions. So, as your needs expand, Supabase can keep up. Another big advantage is that it's production-ready. It comes with a simple dashboard UI, clear documentation, and SDKs for every major programming language, making development straightforward and reliable. For those just getting started, Supabase is beginner-friendly. Its intuitive tools help you build full-stack applications in days rather than weeks. Plus, it reduces boilerplate code, so you can focus on features that matter. And because it's open source, you have full transparency. You can self-host it for free, avoiding vendor lock-in, which gives you control and flexibility over your project. Finally, Supabase enables fast development. You can build complete applications quickly, with less hassle and more features, helping you bring your ideas to life faster than ever. All right, to wrap things up, let's look at how you can get started with Supabase. Simply head over to Supabase.com and start free. Your backend is just about 10 minutes away. Imagine how fast you can move, whether you're building a startup MVP, creating a personal project, or learning full-stack development. Supabase is perfect for any app that needs authentication and a database, making your development process much smoother. Now, when should you use Supabase? Think of the flow as user, then app, then Supabase, and finally the database. It seamlessly integrates into this flow, enabling you to focus on building your features without getting bogged down in backend setup. The platform offers auto-generated APIs, so you don't need to write extra code for connecting your app to your backend. You can upload files and images easily with storage, and with real-time features, your app can have live data updates happening instantly, perfect for chat apps, dashboards, or anything that needs real-time interaction. Supabase also has a built-in Auth system, making user login and security straightforward. And of course, it uses PostgreSQL for your database needs, so storing structured data is reliable and scalable. In essence, everything we covered today comes together in one powerful platform. It's designed to get your backend up and running quickly, so you can focus on building amazing things. That's the quick recap, everything you need to get started with your next project using Supabase.